everybody. Yay, good morning. Good morning at the park again. Yay for us. Yay for everybody. How's everybody doing? This is Joanna from the Early Morning Ascension Show. We're going to do something really special, and it's going to be really short because my computer always logs off, so we don't want to keep it any longer than it has to be, so I don't have to keep doing 2 videos a day. So we're going to talk about Ascension Symptoms, what everybody's been going through. I know this morning I had an incredibly huge ringing in my ear, and it caught me off guard. It kind of made me feel dizzy. So I know ringing of the ears, they mentioned the other day, is going to be a big part of, again, it's the clearing out of all the densities and the calciums and the deposits in our fields. The galactic ears and the galactic audibles are usually, from how I hear it and how I see it, is about 2 feet out from behind the ears. And then it goes all the way up to the crown chakra and above to the soul star chakra. And of course, all the chakras that are above that, because as we clear out the lower chakras, we get activated on the higher chakras. So as the higher we go, the deeper that we have to go in and ground, because that connects us with our crystalline grid. And our crystalline grid is being upgraded and enhanced all the time, as well as why we've been talking about, and will be so important for those of us that are healers and light workers and leaders to really so what they're showing me right now is becoming more and more connected with your planet in different ways outside, and why we're going to be doing more sessions as often as we can outside. I'm at the park, as you can see, and there's lots of different things going on, and you'll hear the children and all of the people moving about their different events and the things that they're doing, because it's connecting with A, your collective energy, B, the natural environment of the collective energy, which is always offering you light and sound, and the elemental wisdom. Thank you, elemental wisdom. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And so that's the fairies that are just connecting with us. I'm so grateful. I do have many of lifetimes within the fairy dynamic of being with the fairy collective in many creational experiences, and they're showing me a timeline right now where I'm working with them, working with crystalline energies and co-creating with a spirit or creator. Thank you, Holy Spirit. So they're showing me those timelines to validate my lifetimes within the Akash. So I'm so grateful. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And we're going to be becoming more and more connected. So that's why it's so exciting for me to be in connection with them again, as I was when I was a child, and I'm reawakening those beautiful memories. Clearing out my throat. Thank you, Holy Spirit, as I'm awakening and clearing out the densities of who I am and accepting who I am. All of those energies get cleared out and cleansed. So it's just showing you, as I bring these videos forward, much of what I'm going through is proof. And I'm showing you that as I'm connecting more and more with the energies that I've always been connected with, and I'm accepting it and attuning to it, the chakras just naturally and innately get cleared. And I'm always showing you in my videos how and when and why I'm clearing, and what it feels like, and just releasing those gas bubbles and the excretions of the densities that are held in your chakras by calling it forward with intention, by calling it forward with your pure love of who you are and the joy of who you are to be on Gaia. It's going to play a hugely important part in our potentials down the road, if you will, because they showed me this morning that why we were feeling the ascension symptoms, and those of us that are really keenly working on intentionally doing our daily cleansing and clearing, expressing our emotions and expressing who we are, making sure that energy flow is always constant. As you open up, the energy is flowing in higher unifications of the all, meaning that as we're moving along in our ascension, it will be important, as we've been talking about for many, many months, are we able to process the light that's coming into us, always available? Are we integrating it? Are we giving ourselves reflection time, observation time? Are we giving ourselves that reflection of what am I seeing in my reality? How is my reality changing to me? Because remember, your consciousness is always first. Your consciousness dictates how your reality unfolds. And so in that, because we're offered such a profound omnipresence within the biosphere of Gaia, more so than any other factor in any other way of ascension, nature is it. And why it's so important that we prepare with her, that we prepare in honor of her, that we prepare and keep her as earth keepers and very sacred with all of the beautiful life forms and elementals. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for us to connect with and dive into for these integrations and processing, so that our bodies can become acclimatized, because our bodies are, again, physical matter. They are biochemistry matter made of the planet and also of spirit. As we're nourishing the biophysical properties of all that we are nourishing the spirit aspects of who we are. The sun is beaming on my back. It feels good. So what they showed me this morning is our multidimensional systems and why we have those ascension symptoms The multidimensional systems are integrating with new systems of light and light codes on your earth and your planet. And that's why we feel what we feel as far as the ringing of the ears and the imbalance, if you will. Those of us that have done a lot of clearing and a lot of healing are intending our lives to move forward in profound ways to serve the collective. We're given those opportunities within our biosphere because we know of it, as we said earlier. Ascension is the science and spirituality of love, of who you are with God. It's a science and it's spirit. It's science and it's love. So as you intend it, as you observe it, so too it is. So that's why your consciousness always comes first. Your consciousness of intending to be in the vibration and the essence of love will make it so. So your body that is adjusting to love and light, your body that is adjusting to the biosphere, your body that is adjusting to all things, so too it is. If we're not aware of it, we're close to it, then of course you're going to stay in that realm of the forest is just a forest, a tree is just a tree, a rock is just a rock. But it isn't. There's consciousness within it all. So it's up to us to dig into it and to start beginning to entangle and interact with it. But this morning, as I was getting out of my car, it was like this profound rush and ringing in my ears, and I felt a great imbalance. I was like, whoa, like I just stepped on as soon as I got out of my car, I was like, wow, did I just step on a new planet or a new vibration? And essentially that's what it is. As we're clearing out and releasing the various densities in our chakras through our daily self-care. Remember our daily self-care, our daily frequencies of entrainment. Are we entraining higher vibrational thoughts? Are we entraining greater, greater self-care? Because if you're caring for yourself, you're going to make better choices. If you're caring for yourself, you're going to have better nourishment around you, better nourishment of those in the circles that you keep. You're going to intend and direct and create standards for those that are in your circles and for what you want to experience. We always have to know where we've come from to know where we want to go. And so it's always important to take all the wisdoms of your past experiences, choose it in this now moment, and then create a new. And that's evolution. It's when we keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. That's when spirit brings those tower moments, because we're not heeding the call of spirit. We're not heeding the call of what's before us. What is crumbling before me so that I can choose to change and make it different? And just like Gaia lets off those same tower moments and triggers, what are we doing that is harming her, and how can we make it better? How can we choose differently as a planet and as a collective? And so that's why it's going to be really important, more so than anything else, to get outside, be intrigued with the planet, be intrigued with nature. Notice what's changing in nature, because remember, your consciousness changes it. So if our collective chooses to have greater systems, holistic and ecologically available, sustainably, and to have the resources available for all people to have clean water, have people to have abundant, healthy food without antibiotics or sprays, then we can absolutely, because they were there before antibiotics and all these sprays were even invented. So what part of our human ego and control has created such programs, and how can we start peeling back such? Because it will happen that you just wake up one morning and you're on a different frequency. You're creating that frequency through your intentions, through your consciousness awareness, and you're choosing of excitement to be in it and of it. So that's really, really exciting. And why getting outside with your work, with your prayers, with your daily self-care, with your excitement, with your joy, just enjoying the planet is going to be so very powerful for those of you that are in the healing genre, the leadership genre. And we've got so many exciting things to talk about. I'm going to put all that stuff on the back burner right now because it's not ready to be released yet. And so we're really happy about that. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And the Galactic Federation is tuning in. Thank you, Holy Spirit. So we're going to do some cards. We're going to do some tarot. I'm going to have, I'm going to try anyways, to have a weekly tarot, because I'm a great lover of tarot. We're transcending into a 5D now. So a lot of the energies and a lot of the meanings and a lot of the perceptions that was created in early tarot, like way back, and tarot's been with us for a very, very long time. Since the beginning of our histories, we've always used divination tools to connect with spirit, although it's not necessary and not needed, but they're fun. And it's a way for us to connect through symbols and through pictures and colors, that we tap into those energies that are already in our field, that we just start channeling. So many tarot readers read cards like that. Some read through just remembrance as interpretation of the cards. And it's all perfect, it's all well and good. And so how you are inspired and attracted energetically to a tarot is also using your own discernment of what feels real for you and what feels inspiring and light for you. Those that are out there practicing tarot and practicing spirituality, those that are true spiritualists, will always return you back to yourself. They will always speak of your own self-empowerment. They will always speak of the lightening of yourself, how to understand and discern and acknowledge densities and traumas, how to understand if there's something in your field, whether it be a lineage curse, whether it be something that is in your field or in your environment that is suppressing or subtracting from you, if you will, that is depleting or manipulating of your energy, your time, or your resources, because they are all vibrational stories and games that we all must clear and we all must acknowledge. And to heal lineage and family dysfunction, we must acknowledge it. And so that's part of your daily self-care. Where am I not standing in my truth? Where am I not owning my own power? Where am I not coming into full alignment of who I am? And that is returning all power and all choice back to yourself. That's what sovereignty is all about. It's not surrendering your power or your will or your choice to anyone. You're living fully in your choice, and you're living in your highest and your best, and you're expressing yourself that way. To know that you can always move liberatedly, you can always be a free sovereign being without sending or surrendering your story to anyone. Nobody writes your story but you and God, only you and God. No group, no collective. And again, clearing out the throat, because these are energies that are very important in our collective. Because we will be, as the council said the other day, much of our collective that is sitting in inequity will be coming up for resolve. That means that we're going to have to look at when we have surrendered our choice and our voice to others, whether it be a collective governmental group or a leader or a religious leader or anybody within even the household, if you will. We are never were meant ever to be controlled or surrendered our power to anyone. And that's where many people in their awakening process will start to reflect upon and review codependency, what that really means and how it's been used and abused, how we just fall into it because we've been all brought up in dysfunctional families. So there's no fault to anybody. It's just what we move through. And to codependency is it's a thread of control, surrendering your control, and how we've done that through the eons. That's what separation has been about. It's been the surrendering of who we are as spirit to outer bodies. And the spirit is within, God is within. And that's where the self-design and the self-divine design is who we're becoming as fifth dimensional beings. And so it's really exciting. And as fifth dimensional beings, we need to nourish our bodies in different ways. We're going to be moving in different ways because the energy wants to move. So what they've been showing me is as we're becoming vibrationally higher in vibration, we're going to move our bodies in different ways so that the higher vibrational energy that we're calling into our bodies is going to have to move in different ways. So you're going to feel, as you're going through activations, as you're calling in greater light, you're going to want to be moving in different ways. You're going to want to be processing the energy, which means throughout your day, having little spurts of exercise, little spurts of what they showed me early on was Tai Chi, a great way to move the energy and the body, working with the Chi of the planet and the Chi of your body. So many of those practices will be, and of course, yoga. Yoga is really great to honor the body and breath within the planetary energies. So whether some yoga instructors work with that or not, it's all selective and universal based on the level of consciousness and awakening. So there's going to be so much that's going to be coming through for every person to get involved with. So it's really, really, really exciting. There's so much within our collective that each person gets to play with, and that's so exciting. You don't have to feel limited that we're stuck within systems. My gosh, every part of our collective experience is going to be transitioning into higher vibrational learning and healing and teaching so that we're becoming one with our planet in such a great way. So that's the profound message. When you're going through your ascension symptoms, you will find the alignment when you're on Gaia and when you're connecting with Gaia, because you're a multidimensional, organic, biochemical being, and you're mostly spirit, all spirit. Your spirit is putting together your matter. So the more that you harmonize in that and call that in for your healing and just do your breath work, then you can allow yourself that greater integration and alignment of your chakras. We did some breath work out here at the park the other day with some friends, and they noticed with the next day and the next 2 days after that they had profound dreams and they had profound shifts in their sleep patterns, and just doing a lot of clearing because we did an alignment and a breath exercise outside in the park here. And so they were noticing how their body was shifting and how their body was just within that one session. So it's really quite amazing how much light is now available. The light that's available now in our collective is not the light that was available 6 months, 3 months ago. And that's why when I got out of the cart, it was like, whoa, that was definitely a shift for sure. You know, like getting off of a roller coaster ride, that's how it felt. And so just notice those beautiful moments because they're meant to be noticed, they're meant to be cherished, and they're meant to be valued. So thank you, Spirit. I'm going to close up my channel a bit. So excited about all the things that are coming. So thank you. I'm going to put away our little things. And we're going to give you a little spread here. I'm excited because I've got some beautiful cards to share with you. So once a week, I'm going to be doing tarot, because we're moving into a 5D perspective now, and it's going to be a lot more enhanced with the planet, the bodies of the planet, the harmonization of our galaxy, the movement and the cycles of our sun and our moon and our star systems and all of the planets that we're all involved with, the activations of our DNA. So tarot is going to be changing because a lot of the subconscious is coming up to be healed and to become conscious. So that was what the tarot was really about, was tapping into those shadow energies, tapping into the subconscious, tapping into the archetypes, and how we're evolving through those archetypes and owning it and honoring it so that we do become the one. And that's what tarot really shows us, is what archetype am I sitting in right now? What archetype do I need? Sometimes you're not going to need the Queen of Cups. Sometimes you're going to need the King of Wands. And so we all play those archetypes and we take those archetypes on. But now we can, in our wholeness, we can understand that in any moment of our alchemy, we can now choose boom, 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 and have everything be conscious because you're aware of it. When you're awake and aware, you can even in your daily self-care, just tune in. What archetype am I going to be excited to play with today? And just start tuning into you designing that own tarot, you designing that own energy, and then calling your cards and then pulling your cards. So I've got the beautiful fairies oracle. Yes, I haven't used this in so long. It's one of my favorite decks. And then I've got, how's everybody doing today? Hi, how you doing? Put your comments down below. I'd like to hear from you. Are you heading out to the park? Are you taking advantage of the parks? Are you getting involved with your parks? Are you getting involved with the lovely animals and the insects and all the experiences that you can gain from the park? Are you connecting with the forest and the trees? Do you have any experiences with the trees that you'd like to share? Do you have any experiences with light ships and stargazing? Any moon experiences you'd like to connect with? Insects and animals? Animals just coming up to you? Children just coming up to you? Those are all interactions of higher vibrations in your aura that are ready to be shared. Children, animals, insects. They all play a part of your awakening. So we're so happy. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. So we've also got our beautiful Earth Warriors. Earth Warriors. I've got one other deck called the Moon and Stars Tarot. So we're going to use those 3 decks. We're just going to do a really short spread and just have some fun at the park. So if anybody would like to connect with me, I'm now open for private sessions and healing sessions and intuitive sessions. For those of you that are local or would like to fly and have an appointment with me to do chakra exercises in the park, my email is below. My content is all under written permission to be used in any classwork. Okay, let's do this. Let's have some tarot. How's everybody doing? Take a deep breath. What's our message for the weekend, Spirit? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for showing us this energy. We're calling with Gaia and the elementals and the beings from the heavens. Thank you, Spirit. And Archangel Michael, thank you, Spirit. And the elementals. Thank you. We're so grateful for this. Thank you. We're calling in the beings of holy light. Thank you. Oh, the King of Swords. It's a wonderful energy. I'm going to do 3 from this deck. Ooh, the Queen of Cups. King of Swords and the Queen of Cups. And the Tower. Lots of energies in our collective right now. And so what they're showing me right now, and at the bottom of the deck is the 8 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups is starting a new journey. The 8 of Cups is moving into a higher expression of who you are by letting go of what was, by allowing yourself to set out on new journeys, by allowing yourself to truly find that, that inner passion of what is your true fulfillment. The 8 of Cups is a manifestation. The 8 of Cups is a manifestation of who you are at a deeper soul level, because you're coming off of that confusion energy of who we thought ourselves to be, based on outer experiences, based on the subconscious. And we all know that in our dream time, those are the parts of the subconscious that we get to then integrate into the conscious level. That's why doing your daily self-care and doing your journaling work and doing your daily self-care, doing the inner work is so important. That's how you learn. That's the richness. The integration part is so important. The integration point is that biggest part of your wisdom making, your mastery. What was I going through? How did I get there? My dreams were showing me this. The reality was showing me this. My friends were showing me that. I was reflected this. My team said this to me. I always offered that. Integration is offering all of those day, moment for moment experiences. And then you're encapsulating it through your writing, through your journaling, and saying, wow, that's what I learned from that one experience. That's why the integration process is so important and not to be missed, not to be trifled with, because that carries the juice. And that is that space through which, when you get to that 8 of Cups, it's like, wow, I really get now why I'm on this path, because it's so rich. You cannot be fulfilled in any other way. You just can't. There is no material thing that can allow the same fulfillment as what spirit does and who you are within yourself. And why that's beautiful self-empowerment is the only way you get that. You gain that. You can't get it from anybody. We can talk about it. We can inspire about it. We can engage, and I can empower, and I can be a guide and a way shower. But to do that integration work, I can't believe how far I've come. I actually was aware of why I went through that. I got the lesson out of that. And I knew why I had to learn that, because there was a belief in me. There was a blockage in my belief systems about who I was with spirit. I'm meant to be the all-encompassing creator. I'm meant to have no fears in my creational abilities. I'm meant to have no limitations or hesitations in who I am as a creator. So those subconscious energies and those subconscious wounds, they hold us back from being the fullest that we can be. And so the King of Swords is that the King of Swords is that energy that just, no matter what density is before the King of Swords, they're going to cut right through it. They're going to say, this is the way it is. This is what I found out. This is what I've researched. Every little star that you see upon that king's crown, if you see that there, those are what we've just talked about. I've learned this, I've learned this, I've taken that in, I've taken that in. Those are the wisdoms of the higher self, of the intelligence, of the intellect, of the observation, of the reflection. That's why the king is the king, because the king just doesn't say what the king says, or says it because they said it last week or the week before. This is how we're going to know true fifth dimensional leaders, because they're bringing forward wisdoms and informations in the now moment, honoring the past, but not regurgitating it, honoring the new now and calling in that higher wisdom to integrate what has been done, to learn from the past, and then to choose something entirely beyond the beyond. And that has to be done from a point of perspective. You can't have perspective unless you're doing the reflection or the observation. What did you learn? How did I take that in? How did I react? How did I respond? What was I afraid of? Let's go into that fear. That's your daily self-care. That's doing the work. And everybody's got to do the work. That's how you come out with those rich lessons, that rich observation. And you see that the moon and the temples are back there. And so this king absolutely understands. My job is to cut through the density. My job is to create that knowledge from everything that I've gone through. And I'm looking at it from this perspective, that perspective. I'm calling in how I felt about it. I'm calling in what I knew about it. I'm calling in what others felt about it, how they experienced it. Now I get to cut through the density. This is what we're going to do. So that's a very cut and dry, using that logical experience, but not missing out anything that was intuitive, not missing out anything that was emotional. And that's why we have the moon and we have the temples, because you cannot manifest or alchemize anything without the emotional body. So that king sits proudly on that throne. And that king archetype can be in any energy, whether it's a divine feminine or masculine. It's that experience of, I'm in a King of Swords energy right now, and that is releasing and cutting out what I've learned. And I've said, I've taken that lesson, I've taken that information, I've taken that intellect, and now I'm going to process it into a new way. And this is my now decision, and I'm not going to waver. This is who I am. This is how I know myself to be. And I'm cutting through the density, because I don't need that. I don't need that. And I don't need that, and clear it from your field. And I can actually see it when I'm doing energy work. I actually see, when I'm doing clearing, I see it in a burst where it goes from the center out, because that spirit is always at the center, that God seed cell, and it goes out like that to clear it. So you're clearing whatever is in that way and in the density. And how is it holding that density? What belief, what limitation, what fragment is in there that you keep holding on to and resisting to clear it? There's a belief there, and it's a fear, usually a fear of loss, a fear of transition, a fear of change, because we've never been shown these things, that it's okay to feel the uncertainty. Uncertainty is okay. Uncertainty is okay because we've gone from such an egoic controlling experience to something that's far grander, and it's something that's synchronistic, something that's intuitive and fun, and just accepting and allowing a source to bring, and Gaia to bring those miracles to us. The next one is the Queen of Cups. And after you've cut through the density, then it's about using that emotional body and that intuition to sit proudly and offer the emotional centeredness of compassion and forgiveness or love, and who you are as a being within your emotional spiritual self. Empathy is in an alignment with compassion, to have empathy and compassion for someone, not sympathy, because sympathy is you're releasing them from the power to have them transcend something. So try to surrender into the vibration of empathy. You can empathize with their situation. You're not taking anything on. You're not being accountable for anything that they're going through, but you're just allowing and holding space for them through what they're going through. And you can empathize with their experience because you've also learned through all of your experiences that you can use compassion and empathy to assist someone as they're transitioning through a challenging experience, through their dark night of the soul. When you've gone through hundreds and hundreds of dark nights of the soul, you get it. It's not fun and it's not easy. But when you get through it, holy cow, do you feel different? And your body is cleared and your body says, wow, I got that greater light happening. I just got so much energy. My body feels youthful. My skin looks great. My body looks great. People are telling me I look great. I feel great. Everything is just great. And then that's the new cycle. And then the moon's going to come around into a full moon or a new moon. And those moon cycles pull all that we are up as a planet with the water on our planet, with the density of our planet, calls it up for a new cycle of renewal. And all systems of life on our planet are operating in that way. That's why our connection with the planet is going to be so important. And then that's why we have the tower. The tower moments are good and they are inspirational. Tower moments are those moments through which the past is no longer working. The past is no longer available. The past is no longer the vibration we're holding. And that is exactly what we're going through. And every facet of our experience on a social level, multidimensional level, will be touched and it will have to be changed. That tower is showing you, spirit is showing you, enough is enough, this must come down. Because how it has been built is not okay. It's changed now. Your vibration wants something better and stronger and wiser. It wants something of great intellect. So every single one of our social structures must fall. It absolutely must. There's far too much red tape. Because this building cannot see it of and of itself throughout the cosmos and what it belongs to, if there is so much staunch and so much rigidity and so much fear and so much greed and gluttony, because those are very stagnant, dense energies. If you're an energy healer or an empath, you can absolutely feel those dense energies. It's like, when am I going to get out of this sludge? That's what it feels like. Density feels like sludge. It just slows you down in every way. And that's our ability to say, I'm going to transform this. I'm going to cut through this. I'm going to cut through that. That's not needed. That's not needed. That's not needed. That's not needed. Return to simplicity. Then using your empathy and compassion to start manifesting, because that's a higher vibration. Empathy and compassion is a higher vibration than fear and greed and cutting through the density. It must come down. And then using your multidimensional body of light, using who you are as an emotional being. That's how we manifest. We're emotional beings. But to balance it, I get it. Now I'm going to manifest when I'm balanced. I'm going to manifest when I'm feeling good. I'm going to manifest when I'm alive with the planet. I'm calling in the planet. I'm working with the planet. My system is alive. My system is alive. I'm breathing in light. I'm breathing in light. New moment, new creation. And that's the beauty of our planet. That's using our planet in its benevolence. There's no need to use the planet or energy in any negative way, because when you're honoring the natural laws of the universe, shit just works out. And our first card is Bodacious Bodak. And if you just look at his eyes, that's what we're clearing away. We're clearing away the shadows. We're clearing away the fears. We're clearing away the ones that are lurking in the shadows of our subconscious, and all of those little inner child wounds, the densities of, called little devils, if you will. Those are the ones that are just waiting for that fear to creep in, waiting for that trigger of lack, waiting for that trigger of less than, waiting for that trigger of I'm not enough. And then these entities of not enough, these entities of that shadow energy come and they connect with your field, and that beautiful aura that you've got is going to have this rope and it keeps pulling you back, or it's going to trigger you even more fear when you fall into that essence of fear. That's why it's important, again, to do your daily clearing and release all those negative entities that we each have. We each have these energies, But this lets you know too that there's energies or frequencies that will always crop up when we're going through a huge, profound personal and social collective upheaval. So truly, again, discern what feels light, what feels happy, what feels honoring, what is returning my power to me or inspiring to turn my power to me. How can I reclaim that light? How can I reclaim my consciousness to create in greater light, to create in greater balance, to create in greater love of who I am, to create in a greater love of benevolence with your spirit, with God, with the creators, with all of the councils that are preparing you for greater galactic embassy of white light. We are creating greater white light on our planet, and it's becoming an embassy, like a planetary embassy. Gaia, her intention is to meet and amalgamate and to harmonize within greater collectives of becoming. The galactic federations, the councils, the many infinite cosmic beings and planetary beings that we have our family and we work with. So she's preparing herself, it's like going into college. She's been to high school now and she's preparing herself for college, and she's preparing us. I want to prepare you for greater cosmic and galactic light. So we've got to heal these energies that want to take, that want to siphon, that want to scheme, that want to scam, that haven't healed those inner child wounds. As soon as that fear gets triggered in you, that's that dense energy that's sitting on your chakra. That's that dense energy that's sitting in your field. That's that entity that's being pulled with you because you've abused your body and you've called those dark entities in to teach you a lesson. So value all of those moments, because you can say, I can deal with this. You don't have to fear it. Absolutely face it. Absolutely honor it. Absolutely say, I can transcend this. And then you have that beautiful moment where you're like, wow, I'm just on a different planet because I'm processing, I'm using greater light. Nothing dark can be when the light is on. So turn your light on. And it doesn't matter if others are okay about it. It doesn't matter if others get it. It doesn't matter if others don't believe in it. That's okay. That's where they're at. But you don't have to surrender your joy. You don't have to surrender your light. You don't have to surrender your consciousness to match another's vibration of not understanding, of being closed-minded, of not being ready to awaken, of wanting to be rigid, of not wanting to believe, of not wanting to wherever they're at. That's okay. Let them be in their consciousness and respect it, honor it, but also value yourself. Go forward, dear ones. Go forward, shine. Let nothing hold you back. We are meant to be liberated bodies and sovereign beings. That's what the Christ said. Don't worship me. Don't follow me. I am you. I am you. I'm every part of you. I'm showing you how liberated you are. Don't give your power away to anybody. You are the Holy Christ. That's what that is exactly what was meant. I love this card. This beautiful card. That's such a beautiful card for today. And then we've got Penelope the Dreamweaver. Penelope the Dreamweaver, she's making dreams come true. She's a fairy of great light. She's a fairy of great honor with the fairy realm. She's working with the energies and the elementals to bring together great light within the flower systems, within the fauna systems. And she's also offering great wishes to all children of Earth that want to return and interact with the Earth as a child. Remember, as children, we always had great love and great joy for our Earth. And anytime now I see children that are banging on trees and harming the Earth in any ways that they just like to play, they don't know because they've never been taught. But I've always taught my children to have great respect for the Earth, even in the smallest of animals and insects. And in any small deed that you do to help an insect or to help any small life, wildlife, you're doing great good back to the planet, and nothing gets missed. Spirit is always seen, knowing you. Gaia knows you when you do good deeds, when you help out animals that have been hurt, when you help them cross a walkway without harm, in any way, regardless of how small the animal is. The other day I was in, and my children and I have always done this when we've gone out, we've seen something that was in need. I've shared many of these stories on my radio shows and my channels. The one day where we saw a bunny that had got hit by a car, and I was taking the kids to work, and we ended up being late for school because we helped the bunny, put the bunny in a box and took it and met it somewhere safe because we didn't want it to get eaten up by all the dogs at the dog park because it had broken legs. And we had taken it off of the road and got it to a safe place and put it underneath a tree and hid it. And then we went back a couple hours later and the bunny was gone. And we were hoping that it had a safe return to its health. We did some light work and we did some Reiki on it, my kids and I. So things like that. Then the other day I was in Starbucks, and one of the girls had come over to me and she said, you know, Joanna, there's a really big spider down there. And I looked down and its little leg was broken. That was a pretty big spider, I guess. And I just love insects. I love all life. And you know, she was trying to get the spider out the door because, you know, some people are really freaked out about spiders, and she didn't want the spider getting hurt. And this is where we act as a team and as, you know, gracious beings. And some people would say, well, that's just ridiculous, just step on it. And both of us felt that, no, we're not going to step, we're going to put it into safety. Of course we are. So she went back because she had a lineup that was gathered at the counter, and I went down and I got one of my little pieces of paper and I brought it up onto my hand, and it started crawling up my arm with its broken leg. And I gently took it down and I offered it into the earth, back to the earth again. But those are things that the sacred keepers of the earth, we just do naturally, and we're honored in doing it. It's when you're doing it with the purity of heart, because that's who you are as a sacred child, it is a gift back to the earth. And that's where sacred ceremony and sacred honoring of the earth, and you're returning honor back to the earth in doing so. Because you're saying, Gaia, you have gifted us with this beautiful experience, I'm going to gift it back. And it might seem strange and small and ridiculous to some people because their heart chakras are closed and they're not attuned with all life. But all life is life. And it's not for anybody to say what is not sacred, for it's all spirit, showing us the infinite ways that we're connected. So all life is important. All life is sacred. All life is valuable if you so choose. It's always a free will ride, but the frequency of 5D is allowing that deep connection with all aspects of life and how we're offered those moments throughout our day. So take advantage of them, because that reconnects you with Gaia. It absolutely does. And you'll feel everything within you to start return to spirit and release those densities that felt, well, I got teased for doing that, or I got this thing. You start releasing those densities of subjugation and the judgment of others. Judgment of others separates, you know, and who cares what people think of you? I don't care what anybody thinks of me. I care what I think. And what I think is far more profound than to surrender into somebody's judgment that doesn't even know me, that doesn't know spirit, that is closed to spirit. But those are lessons that we have to learn. We have to learn to be okay with that. We have to have a thick skin to be okay as being influencers of strange and odd things. And I'm okay with that now. It took me a long time, but I'm okay with that. This is one of my favorite cards. So she just said to me, this is called the Green Woman. She just said to me as I was looking at her, she said, the sinister ones, the sinister ones have just forgotten how to play nice. The sinister ones have been forgotten. They've been the ones that have not been shown or told, have not had the appropriate attention and goodwill from whoever they were brought up from. They had destructive parents. They had imbalanced, sick parents. They had mentally imbalanced parents. They had abusive parents. The sinister ones are those that just lose the emotion to feel again, to feel empathic, to feel love, to feel loving. And so therefore just killing an insect or an animal means nothing. But it does mean something. And that's the return to spirit. And so it's up to us, each and every one of us, even with the smallest acts of kindness and return to Gaia and return to honor of Gaia and love and joy to Gaia. It just makes you feel so good. It makes you feel like I'm a part of Gaia's rebirth. I'm a part of Gaia's regeneration in whatever way is possible, whether it's creating a beautiful recycling program that's even higher than it was before, beyond the beyond that we ever thought. Those are ways in which we reconnect. The green woman that is part elemental, that's part gnome, that's part fairy, and she likes to have fun. She likes to stir up where things were stuck. She likes to stir up the stagnancy in the earth. She's the one that puts her hand on the ground and she'll ruffle things around while everybody else was trying to make that garden. But underneath that ruffling, she found this beautiful insect that came forward and embraced everybody in the mix. So what appears to be a tower moment, what appears to be a shakeup, is absolutely unveiling something profound. But it's how we've been conditioned to see things and perceive things. Wow, that's out of the box and weird. No, it's actually quite special and profound. But it's how are you perceiving things unfold before you? How are you perceiving the things that are Gaia oriented, that she's doing some ruffling and shaking? It's not a disaster. It's allowing her to release the purging of negativity that has been on our planet that we've created. Maybe they're plate shifts so that a beautiful mountain can arise. Maybe there are beautiful shifts in the oceans through which the oceans need to be regenerated, and she knows exactly what she's doing because she's a higher conscious being of profound knowledge that we haven't even given her credit for. So she knows she's working hand in hand, and she's playful in it. That's how she manifests. She manifests through playful trickery, through I'm going to see what I can rustle up today because I know that spirit is guiding me. And she's got her playful little cohort here, and that's just her little sidekick. I'm with you. I've got you. It's all in good fun. It's all in benevolence. But what can we stir up to unearth something new? What can we stir up to be unique? What can we stir up to be our unique self, to know that it doesn't matter if it's never been done before. It doesn't matter if people understand or get me. It doesn't matter if there's things that aren't understood. I don't care. I'm going to unravel it. I'm going to unearth it. I'm going to speak it and speak thy truth. And we're going to go to our final bit. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Lots of people playing outside today. How's everybody doing? You get excited about the planet? Yay! I saw an amazing light show last night. How's everybody doing? Oh, I love this one. I say that to all of them. On the bottom of the deck, ooh, it's Pachamama. Pachamama, that was a big energy of the Gaia energy in many of the stories when I went to Peru and had a beautiful sacred land activation in Peru. Oh, love Peru. It was an amazing place. Aluko, it's been a while since I've read Aluko. I'm just going to read a little part of it from the book. Well, there she is, 60. So everybody doing well? You're going to enjoy the day today. Drink some water, place your hands on the planet. You're going to have so much fun. From the perspective of the awakened hearts, the world can sometimes appear and frightening. So again, that's what we were talking about. When you become awakened, you see more and more what's going on around you, and giving compassion and empathy to those that are reacting and behaving from their shadow, from those devil energies that are within just the wounded parts of ourselves that haven't been acknowledged or healed. So in that awakening process, we can understand why and how people move through experiences of struggle or suffering. We can allow that and just hold space, not take anything on, because that's the difference between sympathy and empathy. But we can allow it to be at the cosmic level. That's what that soul needed, because we don't know what timelines that they're connected to. We don't know what soul density, what family density, what lineage density that they're clearing through that. So give them great honor. You're clearing a whole lineage of density just by your acknowledging of your pain and your suffering, and to choose new. Because we're all souls of a lineage. We're all souls of our collective bodies that are connected to the whole entire planet. And this is where tarot and intuitive readings are going to change. It's not just the archetype you're at today. It's more than that. You're a cosmic being, and you're connected to many, many timelines. You're connected with Earth so deeply. So this is the this card is the she is the goddess of she's the goddess of enlightenment and prosperity. So the unexpectedness, what value and what gifts can we hold in the unexpected? Things that happen unexpectedly, tower moments that happen unexpectedly. Tower moments are not always labeled. Again, it's how you perceive and define things. Everything is spirit, everything is God. So there are no failures, there's no bad path, there's no good path. It's all one, because you can't have one without the other. It's an exact equal opposite. So in every moment, you must have this to learn and grow through this. So it's all one. Everything is one. Every person on this planet is one. We're all meant to be unique perspectives. We're all meant to have unique versions, unique beliefs. And this, standing in this power and this oneness, she sees all. I understand that that perspective is used and valid. I value that truth. I see and I know you will feel that. I'm not going to take it on for you, because that's your valuable lesson. You're going to come to me one day and say, wow, I'm so glad I went through that, because now look at how powerful I am. If I didn't go through what I went through, I wouldn't have the strength that I do now to know that I don't need anybody to start over again. I don't need any other reliance on anything to start over again. But I know that I have spirit. Spirit will always take me through even the toughest challenges. And I see everybody's perspective in it, because they were only behaving from the wounds that they had. So there's no blame. Let's move on and carry on. And so when you're seeing it from that perspective, that's just another version of you that is just beginning their journey. And you can stand in your power, not take it on, set up the appropriate boundaries, and just see in them that they will heal it. See in them that they can transcend it. See in them that those are beliefs they need to work through. Because if they can't work through their beliefs, they're not going to reach their highest potential. And every person is meant and has absolutely the tools within them to do so. And so get used to what your ascension cycle is. Connect with your body. What am I moving through right now? Do I feel like I want to integrate? That was a huge release I had yesterday. And so many things happened to me yesterday. I'm going to have a day of silence just so I can integrate. I want to process this. That was profound. I got to have a day or two just to process. And then give yourself time to connect with your family and let them know. Say, I went through a huge release and I'm integrating so much stuff. I'm integrating what I went through on my physical body, on my mental body, on my emotional body. I know that I'm growing spiritually. I can feel spirit talking to me. I'm tuning into my intuition. I'm seeing things unfold right before me. So I want to tune into this, but I need a couple of days where I got to heal. And so communicate what you're going through. Communicate and reach out. I'm not asking you to heal this for me. I'm not asking you to take this on, but can you support, can you hold space for me? Is it okay if I take a couple of days a week where I just go and, process and integrate and then work those experiences out? Because all families will move through ascension. When you activate your DNA, your children will activate theirs. When you release your density, you're going to open up free space and you're going to be working from higher vibrational light that your children will be activating. More so as they're living with you because your energetic fields are connected when you're living in the same space, but your children will still go through that activation even if you're not in the same space. Because many families are working from, blended family situations and not in the same home and so on and so forth. So just allow that to be okay and just know that physical is just an illusion. It's your consciousness. Remember, consciousness is always the beginning of all things. So if you're consciously aware and knowing and intending, I know that my light I'm taking on right now, my intention for positivity, my intention for self-love, my intention for self-loving goodness, I'm creating greater health within my cells. My cells are becoming more youthful. My body's becoming more youthful. I'm becoming more beautiful and gorgeous. I feel good about who I am. I feel good about where I sit in my life right now. I'm feeling confident and loving. I'm caring less about what others think about me, and I'm going more about my personal passions because I know I'm unique. I'm meant to share. That sends vibrations, the ripple effect out to all. Vibrationally, first hitting your children and your family first because you're connected with your DNA. And so absolutely, you're going to see that. You're going to see people start to open up and be more friendly and be more appreciative and show their vulnerability, or they're going to show apology when apology is needed from those that you thought you would never hear an apology from. So allow that to be a part of the healing process and a part of your own synchronicity as that reflection. I'm being self-governing, self-sovereign. I'm giving myself a break. I'm forgiving myself, and therefore you see it in others. Remember, your consciousness sets the template. You are the creator of everything you experience. You're the creator of what comes back. You're the creator of what you're moving through, and therefore you can be the creator of change. And that is the eternal cup. That is the eternal life. That is the eternal breath. So exciting. So let's, as we close out here, dear lighted ones, the councils are asking me to do a light language activation and some movement. Thank you, Spirit. I'm just going to tap into. I'm just going to tap into. I love the beautiful trees. Thank you, Spirit. The trees are rustling. There's a tree right here. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Gaia. Just take some breaths. Up to the heavens and down. Clear out any energies, any blocked energies. Calling up white light from your chakras. Opening your chakras, bathing them with crystalline white light. Call in white light. See yourself being bathed by golden white light. Feel that golden white light bathing all of your chakras, releasing any densities. You might feel yourself start to release air. Those are the blockages, those are the stagnant energies. Just call it up, call it up, call it up, clear it out, clear it out, clear it out, clear it out, clear out your chakras. And wind is a great extractor of density. So just know that. If you're out on a windy day, just set the intention. I give Gaia and beautiful heavens and God and spirit, the elementals, to blow away any densities in my fields and in my chakras and in my Merkaba that need to be released, please. I release them now. I release them now and now. And become in tune with who you are, and spirit is working with you. All of life is working with you. The birdies are just starting to tune in. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, I'm calling in the elementals and the galactic federations and the councils of light, my beautiful personal healing teams from all over the galaxy. Is there any being that would like to come forward right now? Yes, what's tuning in right now is Boralai from the Sasani group. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Boralai. She is my counterpart in my so she's just reminding me, she'd like me to remind you, she is a divine feminine on Sasani, and part of her energy and excitement is to connect, as be a part of that thread of connection for the divine feminine energy in receivership of the planet. Divine feminine energy is about receiving. It's about that connective womb energy, and the Gaia is our womb, constantly our womb. We're constantly regenerating with Gaia. Everything she offers is a constant regeneration and rebirth. If we look at everything from a symbolic point of view, a metaphorical point of view, or a literal point of view, we're constantly rebirthing based on Gaia. And there's going to be a whole pack of kids here. And so that is and how synchronistic that the kids come here just as I'm doing my light activation. So the kids are very connected to the sacred energy of Gaia. And we're so grateful. And so what she was saying as we're tuning into Boralai. Thank you, Boralai. Yes, there is a deep connection within the heart. So she's showing me the solar plexus right now for divine feminine energies, whether you're a man or not, it does not matter. The divine feminine within the solar plexus, knowing that you are a grounded energy of receivership of Gaia energy and having yourself become one in her cycles of potential support is the biggest word. The solar plexus support of rebirth. I am that I am. I am moving through rebirth. I am regenerating. I am releasing what is no longer serving me. And she is that direct connection of why Gaia goes through what she goes through, why she has cycles. She must have cycles. If we didn't have cycles, it would be so stagnant and we would never grow and prosper. We would never have life regenerating itself. We would never have the trees change colors. There's absolute cycles, and what Ascension is truly about. It's about cycles. Your evolution as a being of light, your evolution as a biophysical, spirited matter body, your intention of who you are as spirit adjusts everything. Your consciousness adjusts everything. Bottom line, your consciousness is the adjuster. And how are you being the commandment of it? How are you being the driver of it? How are you being the manifester of greater health? How are you being the manifester of greater intelligence? Okay. Thank you, Boralai. She's connecting us with the divine feminine and with the energy of Gaia. So they're just showing me, they're giving me a color download right now with the biosphere of the forests. There's energy there within the colors. So I'm seeing a beautiful sage green, the color that was in the green woman. Thank you, Spirit. So they're showing me it's about the chlorophyll and the osmosis. Thank you, Spirit. So they're showing me right now there's osmosis occurring and energies that they're showing me in the forest behind me, how their energies are shifting for oxygen, light, and transmuting it down into the earth, into the roots. So thank you, Spirit. I'm so grateful. Thank you. So Spirit is saying, thank you, Holy Mother, Father God. Thank you, Mother, Father God. God and Gaia are so joyful as children to offer this to you. This is how sweet God is. This is what I know God to be beyond the beyond. Not about judgment or condemnation or punishment. God is so happy that those of us that are conduits can tap into and offer these playfulnesses through the various environmental experiences and the nature experiences, because it shows you all the offerings that God is so happy for you to see. This is how your life is formed on your planet. This is what they're moving through right now. Tap in and let's have some fun. So it's a beautiful unconditional gift that Spirit offers in all that is life, in all that is processing of who you are as you are, of the all, and how we can take great honor in it. And it's always offered as such a graceful gift, and how we have such humility in all that is life, and why we pick up the smallest aspects of life and help life out, because it's beautiful. It's so very sacred. And oftentimes, because we've been so connected and our chakras have been shut down and we've been so imbalanced, we just move through life forgetting about it all. But we're meant to tune in and tap in and awaken. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I'm so grateful. We We have created such gifts for you all to enjoy and for you all to play within, to know that you have gifts within to see all life and the systems within life and how life moves about life as life. For there is always a movement. There's always movement of love as the wind picks up. So that what they were showing me is the green energies moving through the trees, if you will, as a collective. The forest of the collective is doing what they do. Similar to the book I just finished about the communication between the trees within the forest and how they work together as a symbiotic group. Thank you, Spirit. That's why, so they're just showing me as the collectives that are our guides and our teachers, how we're going to be behaving in our ascension systems will directly relate to how excited we are to investigate and look and read, get inspired and excited about where we're excited to investigate and explore. Because that's how you know in your mastery and you're moving into a new frequency, you're going to start investigating and reading and looking out and exploring into different things you've never had interest in, because it's going to activate. And then with me reading that book, with me opening to different things, that download from Spirit, it was all an amalgamation that happened just like that. That's why when you're getting those downloads, you're in alignment with Spirit, you're doing your channeling, you're working with Gaia, you're working with the biosphere. It's all an amalgamation. It just comes just like that all at once. And it's a beautiful harmony of music. The notes, the sound, the harmony, the foundation, the sun, the light, the water, the sand, it's all working together. And that's how you know you're tapped in and tuned on with Spirit. And it's magical. Why would you ever go anywhere else for those experiences? When you can't look outside of you, it's just happening now in the moment as your eyes are closed and you're one with Spirit. You're seeing things behind you that you don't have to open your eyes to see it. But your consciousness tuned into all that is energy. Consciousness. The forests were showing me that they were alive. They have conscience. They have sentience within them. So Gaia says that it's the consciousness of Gaia working as the arm or the body, if you will. Just like our fingers are a part of me. The fingers know they're a part of me and I know it's a part of me. Just like the trees do. They can speak to one another. They can speak with the biosphere, with the flora, with the fauna. Thank you, Holy Spirit and fairies. Thank you, Spirit. And why us becoming one and united with it is so very powerful. So we're going to leave it there, dear lighted ones. We love you. We love you so much. Just allow the wind to play with you. Allow love to play with you. Allow the planet to play with you. Be loving and generous and compassionate and empathetic. And we love you, dear lighted ones. Our email and our donation links are below. We love you so very much. Go out and play. We love you. Bye.